Curious about how to pump up your nitric oxide levels? 1. What is nitric oxide? This molecule is the best vasodilator ever that is produced by the body itself. 2. How is it formed in our body? 3 ways nitric oxide is produced. Stay with us because the third option is the most important. 1. Endothelium. The endothelium is the inner layer, that covering of the vessels. Endothelial cells produce nitric oxide that helps dilate the vessels and by so doing, improves the blood flow to any organ. But with age and accumulation of toxic substances like stress oxidative in the body, the production of nitric oxide decreases. This is in part how we develop high blood pressure, simply because the level of nitric oxide is low. How to improve the production of nitric oxide? One of the ways to improve the levels of nitric oxide is by taking nitric oxide supplements. Most of them come in a form of lozenges that dissolve under the tongue. If you take 1 or 2 lozenges a day, that will help increase your levels. You can find them online. Try to find the one that help you the most, because very many of those are just candies. No effect on the nitric oxide levels. So be careful. 2. The second way we produce nitric oxide is in our digestive system. When we eat food rich in nitrates like kale, broccoli, spinach, beets, the bacteria in our saliva transform the nitrates into nitrites. This very important reaction happens only in the mouth. We do not have this type of bacteria anywhere else. That is why it is advised to chew your food as much as possible. This adds more nitrites to your food. In the same talking, it is unhealthy to eat fast and swallow the food quickly before it is well mixed with saliva. When the food gets into the stomach and in the gut, another type of bacteria transform the nitrates into nitric oxide that quickly enters the bloodstream. There are several ways we destroy this pathway of nitric oxide production. Number 1 is the use of mouthwash like Listerine and the use of toothpaste that contains fluoride. These products kill 99.9% of bacteria in the mouth, and that is true. When the bacteria in the saliva are destroyed at the level of 99.9%, then our production of nitric oxide by the root stops. So what to do to clean your mouth? Scrap your tongue and use fluoride-free toothpaste. You can find those toothpaste online. Number 2 is the antibiotics. They too destroy the bacteria in the saliva and in the gut. Use them only when necessary. Do not use them for long run. Short courses are much better preferred. Number 3 is the PPI. Prompt pump inhibitor decrease the amount of acid in the stomach, and therefore decrease the activity of the gut bacteria that transform nitrites into nitric oxide. Unfortunately, PPI like omeprazole are used and abused for a long time. Originally, they are made for short-term use, like 2 to 3 weeks. More often, we see patients who are on them for years. There too is a medication to pay attention to. Have an honest discussion with your healthcare provider. Number 3. Another site in our body where the nitric oxide is produced is the nasal mucosa and paranasal sinuses. The epithelial cells in these sites produce an important amount of nitric oxide. Having said that, another way to increase the levels of nitric oxide is by breathing. Not a simple breathing. In order to improve nitric oxide production by the nose, you take a deep breath by the nose. You hold it for 3 seconds. You release the air by the mouth. During the 3 seconds hold, the nitric oxide taken from the nose into the lungs will quickly enter the bloodstream. You release the air by the mouth to preserve the nitric oxide for the next deep breath. If you take 3 to 5 deep breaths this way, the level of nitric oxide in the blood improves significantly. Now I have a question for you. If someone comes in emergency department with chest pain, we think he might have coronary disease, guess what we give him first? Nitroglycerin under the tongue. What is that? Once under the tongue, the pill dissolves and nitric oxide enters the blood. If the chest pain persists, we give another nitroglycerin 5 minutes later. You understand that the final product we need in this case is the nitric oxide. Now imagine someone home and feels chest pain. He does not have nitroglycerin. What would you advise? First, call 911 and open the door of the house. Then take 5 to 10 deep breaths as we described above until the pain goes away. So producing nitric oxide by the nose is available to anyone, anytime, any place. Take advantage of it. I do not mean not to take your nitroglycerin if you have any. I say, in case you have nothing at all at home, use your breathing. Humming. What is that? Humming is a way to take a deep breath by the nose. Close your lips and release the air, and in the same time sing by the nose. Studies have shown that humming increases the production of nitric oxide 10 times. That is quite a great deal. If you want to increase the production of nitric oxide by 10 folds, then you use the humming technique. That means if you familiarize yourself with taking deep breaths 3 to 5 times in a day, and especially if you add humming as enticing element, you will keep your heart and brain in good condition. But remember that too much of antibiotics will destroy the good bacteria in the nose and paranasal sinuses. So in general, as rule of thumb, take antibiotics only if your healthcare provider tells you it is very necessary. Otherwise, stay away from them as they do more harm than good. We are Conumedic, the channel for your good health. Subscribe and smash the like button to improve our algorithm with YouTube. Take care. We will see you in the next video.